What's going on, ProActivators? Today I want to talk about something that most people spend their lives trying to escape. Something they negotiate with, something they numb, something they avoid. That is suffering, pain, and discomfort. As a proactivator, I've come to embrace it. Not because I enjoy it, but because I understand it. And once you understand it, it stops being your enemy and starts becoming your trainer. You see, without suffering, we don't grow. Pain is the price of strength. Think about the gym. When I'm training in CrossFit, when the clock is running, when my lungs are burning, when my legs are shaking, when everything inside of me is saying, stop! That right there, that's suffering. It's uncomfortable. It's inconvenient. It stretches me beyond what feels safe. But that's also where growth happens. Muscle fibers literally tear so they can rebuild stronger. If you never create tension, if you never create resistance, if you never push past comfort, the muscle stays small. The same thing happens in the kitchen. When I say no to certain foods that look good in the moment, that's a form of suffering. Nobody gives me a standing ovation for skipping dessert. Nobody celebrates you for turning down junk food. Nobody gives you a trophy for restraint. But restraint builds power. Discipline builds identity. And identity shapes destiny. Even rest is discipline. Turning off the TV earlier than I like, walking away from something entertaining, choosing sleep over scrolling, that's giving up comfort for strength. None of it feels heroic in the moment, to be honest with you. But that's the point. Growth rarely feels glamorous while it's happening. And the mind works the same way. Your mind grows exactly like muscle. If you avoid hard conversations, your emotional strength stays weak. If you avoid responsibility, your leadership capacity shrinks. If you avoid discomfort, your character stays small. But when you lean into tension, when a difficult situation comes your way, and instead of reacting emotionally, you pause, when you choose solution over complaint, when you absorb pressure without collapsing, that right there is mental growth. That is neurological rewiring. You are training your nervous system to stay steady under stress. Most people react. Proactivators respond. Most people escalate. Proactivators regulate. Most people crumble. Proactivators build capacity. And here's something powerful. The more pressure you can handle calmly, the more life entrusts you with. Life will reward you. Growth requires friction. We can't avoid suffering That's not an option. Life guarantees friction. Business friction, marriage friction, parenting friction, financial friction, health friction. The question isn't whether you'll face it, the question is how you interpret it. Most people see suffering as punishment. Proactivators see it as training. Training for what? Training for the next level. Because growth is always on the other side of resistance. Every time you choose discipline over indulgence, every time you choose consistency over mood, every time you choose responsibility over excuse, what do you think happens? You grow. Not loudly, not instantly, but permanently. That's the difference. Temporary comfort feels good now. Permanent growth pays you forever. Here's something I've observed over the years. Life doesn't reward desire. It rewards capacity. You can want more money. You can want more influence. You can want leadership. You can want success. But if you don't have the capacity to handle it, it will crush you. Pressure reveals capacity. Suffering builds it. When people see that you can handle pressure, when they see that you don't panic when things go wrong, when they see you don't shift blame, when they see you stay steady, they trust you. And trust leads to opportunity. Opportunity leads to influence. Influence leads to impact. But it all begins with capacity. And capacity is forged in discomfort, not in comfort. You see, comfort makes you fragile. Suffering makes you durable. Let me tell you something. There's something else about suffering that most people miss. It clarifies you. When things are easy, you drift. When things are comfortable, you relax your standards. But when things are hard, you find out who you really are. You find out what you actually believe. You find out how disciplined you really are. You find out whether your values are convenient or real. Pressure reveals identity. That's why proactivators don't run from difficulty. They understand it's refining them. Like steel in a furnace, the heat doesn't destroy it, it makes it stronger. Here's a shift I want you to make. Stop asking, how do I avoid discomfort? Start asking, what is this training me for? That hard workout training you for endurance? Is that financial stress training you for stewardship? That hard conversation training you for leadership? How about that setback? Is that setback training you for resilience? You see, everything is training if you choose to see it that way. This is the ProActivators mindset. We don't glorify pain, but we don't fear it either. We don't complain about resistance. We lean into it. We understand that suffering builds strength. Strength builds capacity. Capacity creates opportunity. Opportunity expands impact. And impact, my friends, is the goal, not comfort. Growth is not accidental. It is intentional exposure to resistance. So when life applies pressure, don't shrink. Stand steady. When things get hard, don't negotiate with discomfort. Move toward it with discipline. Because on the other side of suffering is the next version of you. Stronger, calmer, more capable, more trusted, more influential. And that's the ProActivators way. Embrace the suffering, grow through the pain, rise with strength. I'll see you next week.